Welcome to Smokey CNC Woodworks. Like I said, this is going to be a CNC video. It's not going to be a cut. But one of the things that I have to do occasionally, especially if I take any time off, is the maintenance. And I've realized during all this, I haven't talked about the maintenance of the machine that much. Granted, there's not a great deal, but it is stuff that I have to do every time I have a little time off in between, or I have to just do it occasionally simply because of all the buildup of sawdust. It is amazing the amount of sawdust this machine makes, and you really want to keep an eye on a lot of your components, which I'm going to point out, and just kind of watch the sawdust build up because it can really gum things up. So obviously another thing I'm going to have to address here since I'm starting back up is materials. You know, the wood has gone through the roof. It has skyrocketed. And so many of the materials that I normally use, I'm not going to be able to buy. A lot of places flat around here don't have it. So not that I can't afford it, I just can't find it. So I'm going to have to look at that. I do still have a good stockpile of wood, so we'll be fine for a while. I may have to look at some other materials, some polymers, some stuff like that. I do have a subscriber, Chuck Deskins, that has sent me some stuff to try some things on, just some samples. I'm going to work on it. I'm having to study about it because I don't understand all the cut speeds and depths that I need to be doing on this stuff. So I'm going to have to do some research on it first and probably have to hit him up and see how to cut this stuff because he's done it. But hopefully materials won't be just a huge issue for me, but who knows? I mean, the way the world's going, there's so many things that we can't get anymore because of the pandemic. And hopefully we'll soon be able to get most of those things again. But I'm talking about crazy stuff like 2x4s that were, you know, $3 and $4 a piece are now like $15 a piece some places. Who can afford that increase? I mean, that's crazy. Anyway, what we're going to do today is a little bit of maintenance on the CNC, just some cleanup. I'll show you some stuff that I do to keep things going on it, lubricated, and just kind of what I do to keep the machine alive and going. So here we go. Okay, so here we are in the CNC shop. Hopefully it doesn't get too loud. It's just started raining here again. But as you can see, right now my table's all a mess from last time I worked out here and painted. Just left everything laying around. But what I'm going to do today is just kind of go through a few things that I do for maintenance and just some obvious stuff. So just looking around the table, you'll see some other stuff that I have piled up. You'll see my nice collection of Q-tips in a little jug. So what this is, each time after I do a piece and I do airbrushing on it, I clean out the insides of my airbrush, which is for another video of how to clean out the airbrush, all that stuff, all the airbrush maintenance, because that's a whole thing in itself. So number one on this list is going to be this stuff right here, sawdust. It's a killer if you don't keep it pretty cleaned up. What I'm going to recommend on this is a good old shop vac. This is how I keep mine clean. I do not use an air compressor. If you do that, you will find huge piles of sawdust that you're walking through, tripping through, and it just gets to be a huge mess. When I started, that's how I cleaned it. I've since gone to the vacuum and I'm much happier with it. Okay, so you saw me stop and pull out these little blocks. I mean, they're just little pieces of MDF that I've cut out. So what these are for, and I don't know if I've ever showed y'all this before, whenever I slide a piece of material up in there to start the CNC process, a lot of times you'll see these sticking up. So what I do, I get my camera in spot, I'll take these blocks, slide them into place, and those things are 3/4 inch thick. I've got another one right here, 3/4 inch thick. My slots are 3/4 inch thick. So I can take a piece of material, if I've got anything, slide it up in there. I know I'm square, I'm perpendicular, because I know my rails that my clamps ride on are perpendicular with the frame. So I can just put those in, slide it in there, clamp it down, I yank those out. That way I don't ever have to worry about if the material, the piece that I'm fixing to cut on the material is going to be square up and down, left and right. I know that I am square with a machine. Maybe this is a better spot. I noticed that all the windows are messing up my lighting here. So that's an obvious one. I mean, you want to keep your table clean, because anytime you put material down, it'll set a little off kilter, and you want to keep it clean. Now, the reason I'm against the air compressor, you're going to blow dust everywhere. You've got a computer sitting at the other end. You've got the electronics box down below. There's no reason to put more sawdust in the air than it's already here, and you're just going to gum everything up. So the next thing is guide rails and ball screws. Those are two really big deals to keep clean. And your best friend on that is an old t-shirt. A nice soft rag to wipe them down. I keep the rails really wiped down. And I'm going to show you what I put on them to keep them slick and from holding dust as much. So you can see right here, well, maybe you can't see right here. See if I can tighten this up so you can see the dust. I mean, the rails here, the guide rails are real dusty. And so I just take this soft rag, and you can see the difference, how much shinier it is now. So your ball screw, you really can't see. I'm going to see if I can take this off. Okay, so down in the grooves of the ball screw, if you can see, right in there, that's gunk. I mean, that's buildup. So you get down here where there's more travel and you don't see as much. You can see how shiny it is in places. What I try to do on that, a lot of times I'll just sit here and just wipe and just get it like that, and you can see how much dirt's built up inside there. Or I will simply kick the machine on, have somebody else hold the rag lightly around this, and I'll get over there and run the machine manually so the screw sits there and turns and you get the full circumference. That's probably the best way. 90% of the time I'm out here alone and I don't have anybody to run both, so I usually just hand do it and just run down the whole ball screw, just wiping back and forth, trying to get it clean. So what I use on the guide rails and the ball screws is white lithium grease. I get it in the spray form, that way you can put just a light coat down. And after I'll let it set for 5 to 10 minutes. I'll go back through with my same soft rag and I'll lightly go down it and take the excess off. That way it doesn't gum up as bad. If you leave it on there pretty thick for a long period of time, it really gums up. And it's really hard to get off unless you spray another coat of lithium grease on there, and then you can wipe it right off. But if you'll just do that and just leave a light skim of it on there to let it dry for a day or so, plenty slick enough, you've got plenty of coating, and it won't build up on you. So you see right there, on the guide rails, I do go ahead and wipe them down because when it dries, it'll kind of gunk up a little bit. So whenever you do come back from spraying lithium and you've let it dry, look at your ball screws, and you may have just a little bit of clumps in there of the lithium grease. If you do, just wipe them down with a soft rag, take them on off there. It'll still allow this thing to glide nice and smoothly. But beyond that, that's about what I do for the care of the ball screws and the guide rails. So on my electronics box that I have down below, I rarely open this thing because I feel like the more I open it, the more dust I'm introducing to it, because it's a sealed box. I've got fans at both ends. One's an input, one's an output. The input comes through a clean filter box on the other side. And so the less I open it, the less dust I'm allowing to get in there, is the way I feel about it. So I get in there once in a while, and anytime I clean that out, I use canned air. Same with my computer stand. To get in this thing, I mean, as you can see, I've got my computer stand, I've got an exhaust fan. Down there's my electronics box. You can see the exhaust fan right here, and it's got a foam sealed top. So anytime I get in there and clean those out, I use canned compressed air. I would demonstrate, but to be honest, I didn't know this was the kind of video I was making today. I thought I was going to be doing a cut until I got out here and looked at the machine and saw how much maintenance it needed. And so I decided I had better get out here and clean this thing up before I tried to fire her up and run her, because I sure don't want it stalling out right off the bat, because whenever these things do mess up, it's a mess. And honestly, that's about it. I mean, the only other kind of maintenance I can think of on this machine, if I'm going to sharpen some bits. And I've done a video about sharpening bits. I don't do that a great deal, although I did a video over it. I've got a couple that I'll sharpen occasionally, but the rest of them I buy cheaper bits. That way, when I'm done with them and they get dull, I can toss them. And I've got a link for those down below. It's a Whiteside 90-degree V-bit and a 60-degree V-bit. I've redone several of the links down below in the description box. I've had several comments telling me they don't work. I'm in the process of getting them all done. I'm about halfway there. I've got all the major components redone, so if there's anything big you need, you'll be able to go through there and find out what I used. And beyond that, the links there are some of them necessary. Some of them are just stuff that I like to use, like the 3M Worktunes, the headphones. Those things are great. You can Bluetooth your phone in and listen to music while the machine's running. Promise you don't want to listen to this machine run, an air-cooled machine, without some kind of hearing protection. So one thing I didn't show you while I was in there is something I like to keep handy, is like a small hand broom or a large paintbrush. That way, whenever you start getting large amounts of buildup of sawdust on your project and you can't see what's going on, and to be honest, enough sawdust could inhibit the cut because it'll get down in that groove. So you could just pause the machine, reach up there, wipe it off real quick, and it'll take care of that situation. That's about the only time I use a broom in there, wiping things off. The rest of the time I use the vacuum. And occasionally whenever I get built up too much on a project, I will just kick the vacuum on, suck it down there, get all that crap off the top of it, restart it, get going. That way I'm working on a clean project. So like I said before, over there on the other sides, I'm working on all the links that I have. I've got all the big ones relisted, so they're all good links on Amazon. So if you need any parts, I'm working on the rest. Some of them are smaller stuff, things that aren't as, I don't know, how would I say it, mission important. they're not as involved in the construction of it. They're more stuff like bits and little odds and ends that are just useful for me. You heard me mention the Worktunes, and the Worktunes are these little jewels right here. They're made by 3M, and they're great. They're like 50 bucks, and I can Bluetooth to them from my phone, and I listen to music the whole time all that's going on. So if you think I'm walking around listening to music in my head, I am, especially while I'm working. These are also great for mowing, like I mentioned before. They block out all the noise, and I can just listen to my favorite tune and escape. After I got done over there, I did check out my airbrushes. Definitely going to have to be doing a video over airbrushes. I'm a cleanup of them, because since I kind of left doing this so abruptly, I had left one soaking, which I usually have one soaking, and I left one on the workbench. They're both gummed up. The stuff I have it soaking in had dried out, gummed up the one that was soaking. The other one sat there with it in the little tub, gummed it up because it dried out. But I mean, it's been 6 months. So I've got them soaking right now. I've got one of them soaking. And so hopefully I'll be able to get it cleaned up before the next project, because that's really what I'm shooting for on the next video, is a cut, because I am ready to get back out here and get to it. Like I told y'all before, if the RV stuff, the camping stuff isn't your cup of tea, cool. I am going to put some of it on here from time to time, but don't think for any minute that that's going to be the main goal or the main course of this channel. I'm basically just trying to include more stuff that I do day to day, because I've got enough requests from it that all they think's I live in the shop. So I'll try to show you a little bit more of life. So guys, that's going to be about it for this one. If y'all haven't done so yet, please subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.